Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Ever wished you could just turn back time, like really turn back time? Imagine the possibilities, right? But also, maybe some scary stuff too.
Yeah, definitely a double-edged sword there.
Well, that's kind of the question behind this thriller, Fountain of Lies by J.R. Rain. It really makes you think about identity and choices.
Absolutely.
So if you're into those kinds of stories, you're going to want to stick around for this deep dive. And hey, while you're at it, hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future book breakdowns.
Always good advice.
You can find a link to the book down in the description, by the way. But here's the basic setup. We got this FBI agent, and get this, she doesn't age.
Now that's a secret I wouldn't want to keep.
Talk about a tough situation.
Mhm.
She has to live in the shadows, always changing who she is, and can't even really get close to anyone.
It makes you wonder if she even feels human anymore.
We meet Lindsay, that's our main character, about 20 years into this whole not aging thing. It all started when she fell into this weird pool of water. They call it the Fountain of Lies.
Oh, I love that title, The Fountain of Lies. It's perfect for this kind of story because everything is about deception, hidden truths, like her not aging. That's a huge lie she has to keep up. And then she's surrounded by all these criminals who are obviously living in a world of lies too.
Oh, for sure. And the FBI, they decide to send her right into the lion's den, basically. Her mission, infiltrate this super dangerous crime family, the Fiorellis, led by the infamous Marcus Fiorelli.
Classic mob boss, right? Ruthless, powerful, seems like nothing can touch him.
Exactly.
So how do you even begin to blend in, act normal when everyone around you is breaking the law and probably trying to double cross each other left and right?
Right. It's like, how do you even keep up and act in that kind of environment?
Hmm.
Well, Lindsay's plan is to get close to Marcus through his daughter, Isabel.
Interesting strategy.
Yeah, and Isabel seems like a genuinely good person, but, she's trapped in this family full of secrets and crime.
I'm already sensing some complicated relationships here. Can Lindsay truly become friends with Isabel without, revealing her own massive secret? And can Isabel, who seems so innocent, really separate herself from her family's dark past?
Those are the big questions, right?
Right.
And then, just to make things even more complex, we've got Jacob, Isabel's stepbrother. He's Marcus's enforcer, basically, a hitman, but also, like, super charming and good looking.
Okay, talk about a walking red flag.
Right. So Lindsay has to figure out, is Jacob truly interested in her, or is he just using her to protect his family?
I bet the author keeps us guessing about his motives for a while. He sounds like one of those characters who could go either way, good or bad.
Oh yeah, totally agree. And that's what makes the relationship so interesting. It adds this whole other layer of tension to the story.
For sure. You're on the edge of your seat wondering if their connection is real or just a big manipulation. And it shows the different kinds of danger Lindsay is facing.
Mm,
It's not just about physical safety, but about protecting her heart, too.
totally. Now, the book also hints at where Lindsay's immortality comes from, that fountain of lies we mentioned earlier. What do you think about the fact that there's this supernatural element to the story?
I think it's fascinating how the author uses that fountain of lies as a symbol. Like, it represents how secrets can eat away at you from the inside. It grants you this incredible gift, staying young forever, but the price you pay is pretty steep. Makes you think, is immortality really all it's cracked up to be?
I mean, she has all the time in the world, but can she actually have a real life, build something lasting, or is she doomed to just keep running and hiding forever?
That's the sad part, right? She wants to connect with people, but she's terrified of being exposed. That fountain of lies might have given her this amazing power, but it also took away something essential, the ability to just be herself, to live an authentic life.
And it's not just about her present either. We get glimpses into her past, the relationships she had to abandon, all the different identities she's taken on to keep her secrets safe.
Those flashbacks gotta be heartbreaking to read, right? You see what she's had to give up to survive, all the sacrifices she's made. It makes you feel for her, even though she might be making some morally questionable choices in the present.
It is sad because you can tell how much she just wants a normal life, to belong somewhere. But instead, she's stuck in this endless cycle of running and hiding, always looking over her shoulder because of what the Fountain of Lies did to her.
It really gets you thinking. What would you do if you were in her shoes? Would you get up everything for eternal youth? And could you actually live with that secret, knowing you'd always be separated from the people you love?
It's a heavy question to consider, and it only gets tougher as Lindsay digs deeper into the Fiorelli family.
Oh, absolutely. The more involved she gets in their world, the more she risks getting lost in their web of lies. And that's where things start to get really intense because she's going to have to face some serious moral dilemmas and figure out what she's truly willing to sacrifice for justice.
Yeah, and that's where it all starts to fall apart for Lindsay, like both in her personal life and with the case. You can see that careful act she's been putting on, it starts to crumble as Jacob gets more and more suspicious.
Right. He's not buying her story anymore. And it all blows up in that scene where he confronts her at her apartment, like pulls a gun on her. Crazy intense.
So much tension there. It's like this huge turning point because whatever trust they were building, it just shatters.
Yeah.
Lindsay's facing that fear again, the possibility of her secret getting out. And this time it's not just some random criminal, it's someone she's starting to have feelings for.
And it changes everything between them, too. Before that moment, you could see there might be something real there, this connection based on wanting to break free from their pasts. But when he pulls that gun, it's over. You have to wonder, was Jacob ever really being honest with her? Were those feelings genuine? Or was he playing her this whole time just to protect his family? Was there ever a real connection? Or was it always going to be messed up by all the lies and secrets?
Yeah, it's tough to say. But we do see a little bit of his true feelings when Lindsay disarms him, showing off her super strength and speed. He's totally shocked, not just by what she can do, but also because he realizes he totally misjudged her.
That's such a powerful scene because it highlights how Lindsay lives in these two worlds. On one hand, she's this incredible FBI agent who can take down anyone. But on the other hand, she's so vulnerable because of this huge secret she's carrying.
It's a turning point for her in terms of the case, too. Up until then, she's been trying to do things by the book, stay somewhat on the right side of things.
Right.
But after Jacob betrays her, she hardens. She's done protecting him, and she's ready to use him to get to Marcus, even if it means doing things she wouldn't normally do.
That shift in her character is really interesting, right? She becomes more ruthless, almost like she's embracing the darkness that's all around her. Makes you think, maybe that fountain of lies isn't just affecting her physically, but it's messing with her sense of right and wrong, too.
And that's when she comes up with this really bold plan, some might even call it reckless, to expose Marcus. She sends him a text saying Jacob confessed to a bunch of murders and is working with the FBI.
It's a genius move, honestly. She's playing on Marcus's loyalty to family and his fear of being betrayed. Shows how well Lindsay's come to understand the twisted way their family works.
And it works perfectly. Marcus totally falls for it. He shows up at Lindsay's Airbnb, brings Isabel with him, and the tension in that scene is off the charts. You can practically feel the danger.
Oh, for sure. You've got all these different motivations clashing. Marcus is consumed by rage, wants revenge. Isabel is trapped in the middle, loves her family, but also starting to see their true colors. And Lindsay, she's walking a tightrope, trying to stay in control while knowing one wrong step could ruin everything.
And then she does something no one expects, not even her FBI handler. Lindsay goes rogue. She sets up a meeting with Marcus and confronts him in the back of his car, figuring that's her best shot at getting a confession on tape.
It's incredibly risky, putting herself in such a vulnerable position, but it shows how desperate she's become. Lindsay's willing to risk her life to take Marcus down.
And she does risk it because Marcus, he just snaps, shoots her right in the neck. It's brutal, and you're left thinking maybe she's finally met her match. Maybe even the Fountain of Lies can't save her from this.
But of course she survives, right? The fountain's magic or whatever.
Yeah.
And the best part is she was smart enough to plant a wire beforehand, so she gets the whole conversation on tape, including Marcus admitting to all those murders.
It's amazing. Even when she's taking crazy risks, Lindsay's still thinking ahead, playing the long game. She wins, but it's a bittersweet victory.
Yeah, definitely bittersweet. Marcus and Jacob, they get arrested, their whole empire falls apart, and the FBI sees Lindsay as a hero. But she loses so much. Her friendship with Isabel is over, Jacob's future is uncertain, and Lindsay's left alone with her secret and the knowledge of what she had to do, the darkness she had to become to bring Marcus down.
Yeah, it's like she wins, but she also kind of loses at the same time. The bad guys are locked up, but now she's got to deal with all the consequences, all the emotional stuff and the moral questions that come with what she did.
For sure. It reminds you that doing the right thing isn't always easy. There's usually a price to pay. And for Lindsay, it's losing her friendship with Isabel, not knowing what's going to happen to Jacob, and then on top of that, people at the FBI are starting to notice that she never seems to age.
Right. That's the thing that could bring her whole world down no matter how many times she runs or hides.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, how long can she keep up this double life before someone figures it all out?
That's the question hanging over the whole story, right? The clock's always ticking.
And then there's Eric, the guy she left behind, the one who proposed. It's like a reminder that even though she's got this freedom and power because of her immortality, she also gave up the chance to have a normal life, love, family, all that.
That's the trade-off, isn't it? The Fountain of Lies might have given her a lot, but it took away something really important. Being able to truly connect with someone else without being afraid they'll find out her secret.
So, after going through all this with Lindsay, all the twists and turns, what do you think the author's trying to say with Fountain of Lies? What's the big takeaway?
I think it's a story that makes you think about what you really value, what you really want out of life. Would you be willing to give up everything for eternal youth? And could you handle the consequences of that choice? The book doesn't give you easy answers, but it definitely gets you thinking about what it means to be alive, to be true to yourself, and how powerful human connection can be, even when things get crazy.
Yeah, makes you think about truth and identity, too. Lindsay's basically living a lie all the time, changing who she is depending on who she's with. Makes you wonder, do we all do that to some extent? Put on masks and hide parts of ourselves?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We probably all do. And then it makes you question, can you ever really know another person or even yourself? When everyone's keeping secrets, it's a really interesting idea that stays with you long after you finish the book.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into Fountain of Lies. Thanks for joining us. It's been a wild ride. What part stuck with you? What did you think about all the twists and turns? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And hey, if you know someone who loves a good thriller or likes to think about the whole good versus evil thing, send them this episode. Catch you all next time for another deep dive.